Hey everyone, so I'm not even going to make a intro to today's video, and what today's topic will be about exactly is the fact that Passport Bros is such a fucking cope. And I'm going to start off this video by saying that I find it both ridiculous and funny that so many guys will come on my channel and comment on my videos telling me that I should go overseas or that I'll find love overseas, or if I go or even move to another country that I'll find love, find a girlfriend, find a wife. And I think that is a load of bullshit and just a flat out absolute cope. I really believe, in my personal opinion, that it's just unrealistic and that it's putting hope and faith in something that just, to me at least, seems too good to be true. And here's the thing. When it comes to Passport Bros, the reason why I say that it is such a cope is because, even for men who have just totally and completely given up on all American women here in the West, or other Western countries for that matter, because, it's obviously not just American women in this Western country that are totally fucked completely 100%, but there are other Western countries too that are pretty damn similar to America. Sure, culturally they're different and they probably have their differences, obviously, and of course, I know that. I'm not an idiot. But when it comes to like westernized culture and system or whatever in society, that pretty much all Western countries, any country that falls under like westernized culture, society, or system, are pretty much all the same for the most part, at least. But even in countries that aren't Western countries, I just feel like when it comes to men who have just totally and completely given up on all American women, or all women even in other Western countries, because I just feel as if men just think American women are bad, and that is false. That is not true. There are bad women, pretty much all over the fucking world. I don't just believe that it's just exclusive to American women, that American women are the only just messed up group of women all over the world. Because again, like I have said and stated before, there are other Western countries with similar Western culture and society and system similar to that of America. But the thing also is that, even when it comes to women in, say, for example, Eastern European countries, maybe they're like slightly better than American women, slightly like a smidgen bit better. And I do believe that. I do believe that Eastern European women are definitely, without a doubt, better than American women, or for that matter, other women from other Western countries. But at the same time, our culture of America, which is, I would say, the most popular, the most mainstream, gets the most attention and focus and all that shit, spreads throughout the world like a fucking disease, like poison. It just keeps spreading and just covering the whole entire damn world in our disease, our poison of this nation of America. And it's literally just like brainwashing and indoctrinating and just messing up women in even other countries who are becoming very deeply brainwashed and indoctrinated and influenced by American culture, American society, the American system. Like they see the way that other American women are acting and behaving, and they can't help but, copy it, mimic it, imitate it, and do what American women are doing, or other women in other Western countries that are similar to that of America. And here's another thing. When it comes to women in like Eastern European countries, or Asian countries for that matter, the thing about those two is that social media is by far one of the most and main things that have just corrupted women to the core, modern day women. Social media has just seriously poisoned and affected their minds and their hearts, and it has twisted their hopes and desires and dreams and aspirations and things that they want or need or desire or wish to have. It is just fucked them over. And obviously women from Eastern European countries and Asian countries and all that, they have access to social media. They do. And again, social media is by far one of the most and main things that have just messed almost about all women up all over the world for the most part. Because how many women are using social media? I don't even know what the percentage of it is, but I know it's really fucking damn high. I know that for an all-around fact. And also, not to mention the fact that, like, how many women are models and like entrepreneurs or whatever, or social media influencers on social media, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, the list goes on, Twitter, now known as X. I mean, I could go on and on and on about this shit, but you see my point. That's why ultimately I just feel like Passport Bros is a cope. Like, it's not the answer. It's not the solution to, you know, men who want a more reserved, traditional, modest, humble, meek girl or woman. You know, especially if you're a guy who wants a virgin woman. And obviously, there are more virgin men than there are virgin women. That is just a fact. Because it's so fucking easy for women to have access to just tons of guys, to have so many boyfriends and multiple husbands, and, you know, remarry a bunch of times, and, you know, they have just such insane high body counts. Like, how many women in this world are still virgins? Like, even in countries that aren't Western countries, whether they're Eastern European countries or like Asian countries, like, honest to God, how many women in those countries are still virgins compared to like American women or women from, like, say, the UK or Canada or Australia or like New Zealand or whatever, like westernized countries? What percentage or what amount of women or girls from Eastern European countries or Asian countries or whatever, or any other countries or continents or whatnot that are not Western countries are still virgins? Whether by their choice or not. You know, I'm honestly curious about that. I really want to know the answer to that question. And, you know, even if I were lucky enough of being able to move over to another country and find a woman in another country, what are the chances that she would be a virgin? Like, seriously, what would be the percentage of the chance that she herself, as either a girl or woman, would still be a virgin? Like, seriously. And probably it would be very low. And also, here's another thing. Like, I'm an incel virgin guy. I'm not just like a guy who is a virgin. I am specifically an incel virgin, which is a very specific type of virgin man. And if I were to approach a woman, if I even did have confidence, self-esteem, and were extroverted and had game and was charming, which I am not, never have been, and never will be, and that's just me being real with all of you, regardless if you want to believe me when I say that or not. That decision or choice is up to you. I can't force or make any of you believe what I say. That is up to you. But if I were to be able to talk to a woman that I liked, that I had a crush on, that I wanted, that I wished to be with, that I desired, that I was attracted to, I would either want to tell her that I am an incel, or at least a virgin. But the sad thing is, both of those things are pretty damn private and personal. Like, even if you're a guy who doesn't identify with incels or the incel community, but you're a virgin, you as a guy who even at least identifies as a virgin, especially if you know that you are a virgin, even then you wouldn't go up to a woman and say that you're a virgin, because that's a very private and personal thing, or at least it should be. But obviously there are guys who, after dating a woman for a certain amount of time, will open up to her and, like, in private or whatever, and tell that woman that he's a virgin. But I also wonder what would happen if like, hypothetically speaking, if you were a guy who identified as an incel or with the incel community, but were lucky enough of getting a woman, and then went on like several dates or whatever, or maybe more than that, and then when you were alone and somewhere private and opened up to that woman and told her that you are an incel, would that ruin the relationship? Or if you just simply told the woman that you were a virgin man, I feel like it would. I feel like it would totally and completely wreck any and all relationship between a man and a woman, like, whether or not the woman was a virgin herself. And obviously, there are more virgin men than there are virgin women. That is just an all-around 100% fact. And that's what really depresses me and makes me hopeless and full of despair and crushes me and tears me apart emotionally on the inside. It literally kills me on the inside, knowing just from a general, like, standpoint that, like, the vast majority of women all over the world, regardless of where I would go, that they are not virgins, that they're promiscuous, hypergamous, whores, hoes, sluts, bitches, skanks, thoughts, you know, and they're not girls or women that I would ever want anything to do with, or ever want to date or marry or have kids with, for that matter, most of all. And so I just feel like when guys tell me on, like, my YouTube channel, when commenting on any of my videos, and tell me that I should, get my passport and move over to another country or something, as if that is going to help or benefit me specifically out of all men. Because, again, I'm a black-pilled incel. I'm a black-pilled incel virgin man. And I don't think that even if I were to move over to another country, that I would at all be helped or benefited in that way, knowing very well that I am a black-pilled incel virgin man, and I would not stand a chance, even like from other women, or I wouldn't stand a chance with other women from other countries. I wouldn't. That's just a fact, and I know that. I'm not going to lie myself and give myself false hope that if I were lucky enough of moving over to another country, that maybe, just maybe, I would, struck out in luck or be able to find a girlfriend or wife and have kids with, or whatever. Like, that is bullshit. That's what's called coping, or believing in something that is too good to be true, because that's literally what it is. It's something that is too good to be true. And I'm just sick and tired of men giving me a false sense of hope, and also just lying their sorry asses off at me, trying to make me feel like better, or that I have a chance or shot at women from other countries. Like, just stop, please. For the love of God, stop. Shut your damn fucking mouth. You lying ass snake. You're lying to me. You're giving me a false sense of hope by telling me that there is hope, and that there is a way that I'll be able to have a girlfriend or wife and kids, for that matter. Like, stop. You're lying. And I mean, like, literally, imagine any incel, me or other incels, trying to move over to another country and telling women from other countries that they're an incel. it would be over for them. And I would love to be able to tell women that I'm an incel and all the reasons why I became an incel. It's not like I would blame women from other countries, but I would certainly sure as hell blame women from America and other Western countries, for that matter, being similar to that of American women. But, you know, I just think it's hopeless, that it's a losing battle that I can never win, that it's over for me. And that even if I don't want to, that I have to accept my fate, because my fate is just literally sealed in stone. That I will be a black-pilled incel virgin man until the day I die, until my dying breath, whenever that may be. Like, I don't stand a chance. There's no hope for me. There's no good future for me. There's nothing looking up for me. There is no chance that my life will ever get better or ever improve. It just won't. And I knew that for a while now. I mean, hell, I knew that since I was a teenager. And here's another thing. I don't have money to move over to another country. I do have a passport, but it's going to expire this year. And sure, I could get my passport easily renewed and get a new one. But at the same time, you know, and obviously I am going to do that, but it's not like I'm going to do that because I want to move over to another country, or that I think I'm going to. No. Because again, I won't ever have any chance with women, even from another country. Any other country for that matter. I mean, if American women are as bad as they are and would never want anything to do with me, what's to say that women from other countries won't be exactly the same in that way, or similar at least, if not exactly the same? Like, I just don't see the point. I don't see the point in even trying or putting any kind of effort forth into even trying to get with a woman from another country, as much as I would love to, and I wish I could. And I also wanted to say in this video that, you know, men oftentimes will comment on my videos and tell me to move over to other countries, but when they're talking about countries, they're talking about very certain specific countries, like the Philippines, for example. And here's the thing about me personally. I am not that much attracted to Asian women. I don't hate them, and I personally have nothing against them. I don't think they're ugly. Like, yeah, I think there are a lot of beautiful Asian women, but my favorite women, and the women that I want the most, like hell, that I crave, that I desire, and that I wish to have more than anything, that I fantasize about, are white, blonde-haired women. And not white, blonde-haired women from America, obviously. Fuck all them, being the perverted, degenerate, twisted, corrupt, pure evil women that they are. I mean, like, Ukrainian blonde-haired women, or Polish blonde-haired women, or Russian blonde-haired women. Blonde-haired women are my favorite. Now, I also am attracted to, you know, women with brunette hair, or hair that's not blonde, but blonde-haired women are by far my favorite. Always have been and always will be. Even if I never am lucky enough and privileged enough of being able to get with any. And I obviously never will. I know that for a fact, because they're too top tier. They're really high up there on the list. There are a lot of men's favorite women, and many men are obsessed with them, just as I am myself. And I'm obsessed with blonde-haired white women that are attractive like crazy, like fucking crazy. I'm just so addicted to them and fixated with them. They're my favorite. And, you know, I'm also going to make a video soon about, you know, my dream woman, and it will just be like a hypothetical um, sort of video. Not that I ever will get my dream woman or that she even exists, especially in a world like this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. But before then, I am going to make a video about how Ukrainian women are so fucking hot and intimidating. And Ukrainian women, um, you know, recently and currently are like my favorite women. And I'm going to make a video about that, but I'm not going to talk much about it in this video. But the only reason I mention them is because when I talk about liking and being attracted to and desiring and wishing to have blonde-haired white women, I'm mostly mainly talking about like Eastern European blonde-haired white women that are also like really stunningly beautiful and attractive, of course, and obviously. Not that I'll ever have a chance with any of them, and the fact is I never will. So I'm not going to put any kind of hope, faith, or trust in something so shallow and superficial like that, knowing that I'll never stand a chance or ever be privileged enough of having any of those sexy ass blonde haired white Eastern European women, whether they're, you know, Ukrainian or Russian or Polish or German or whatever. Like, I'll never have any of them. Like, it's just so over for me. And, you know, even if women from those countries are more modest and have dignity and are more traditional and humble and meek, and maybe more of them are virgins compared to American women or women from other Western countries for that matter, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be shy and introverted of those Eastern European women, because I would be, and I am. They're extremely attractive, hot, sexy, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, angelic looking and whatnot, even way more so than even the most beautiful American women. But because of how stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, hot, and sexy they are, and adorable and cute and whatnot, because of all that, they're intimidating. They're intimidating. They just are. And they would make me feel insecure, inferior, lesser than them, and like I'm lower than them, beneath them, and that I will never have a chance with them. And I know that those women would rather, I don't know, get hit by a bus or something than to ever give a guy like me a chance with how I look. And also the fact that I'm a black-pilled and so virgin man would push away even those women. And I know that for a fact. So ultimately, at the end of the day, there's just no hope for me for anything good to come out of my life or to come into my life. There is no chance or hope that my life or my future or whatever will ever get better or improve in any way, shape, or form. I'll just always be a loser, low life, failure, scumbag, piece of shit, isolated, alienated recluse who will just continue to rot in his parents' basement and feel sorry for himself and pity myself and feel bad for myself and be depressed all the time, constantly, nonstop, 24/7, and stressed out and hopeless and full of despair and brokenhearted and crushed and torn apart on the inside and feel dead inside, most of all, because of all those things that I'm feeling. Just most of all makes me feel dead inside, and it just kills any amount of like hope or energy or motivation or whatever that I may have had or might have had if I didn't feel all these just really dark, negative emotions and feelings that I've harbored and held on to since I was literally a teenager. So, yeah. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say in today's video. Oh, before I stop this video, I just remembered something really quickly here, that like one last reason that Passport Bros is also a cope is because, I feel like guys who are lucky enough of being able to go over to other countries, move over to other countries and find girlfriends or wives to maybe have kids with and have a family with is because a lot of the guys who are moving over to other countries are really attractive, handsome looking guys. They're not ugly, hideous, deformed, disabled looking guys, nor are they like average or mid looking guys for that matter. Like myself, for example. At the most and at best, I'm average looking. I'm mid looking. Like, I know I'm not ugly. I've always known I was not ugly or hideous or deformed or disabled looking. But I also know that I have never really been that handsome or that attractive as much as I wish I was or dreamed about being, especially when I was younger. But at the most, I'm average looking. So an average looking guy like me is not going to have or stand a chance between, beautiful women from other countries. That is just, a total cope, and it would be me lying to myself and giving myself a false sense of hope that maybe I would have a chance or opportunity with women from other countries, knowing very well I wouldn't. And also, I feel like men who also move over to other countries are most likely rich and wealthy men who are successful and accomplished in life. And I don't have any of that myself. I have nothing to fucking offer. So that's another reason why I wouldn't ever have any chance or opportunity with a woman or any women or women from other countries. And also, like, women from other countries, like Eastern European countries or Asian countries or whatever the fuck, they have been so used to, white men and black men and Hispanic men and like whatever coming over to their countries looking for love, looking for a more traditional woman, looking for someone to marry and have kids with and have a family with and start a life with and have a future with. Women from other countries are getting more and more used to seeing guys like that. So if I were to go over to those countries, it would be nothing new. They're becoming so used to it and numb to it. Now, if I were to have gone over in, say, like the 90s, then maybe I would have had a chance. But obviously, I wasn't really alive in the 90s, and I wasn't born until 1997. And so I wouldn't have even really been around in the 90s at all or cared, because I was, like, most of the 90s I was not even born, and only in the late 90s I was pretty much a baby. And so it's just over for me. And I don't know why I would even bother or risk trying to move over to another country when there's already so many guys doing it. And hell, guys have been doing that shit since literally like the fucking 90s. The passport bros thing, I mean, seriously, that shit has been a thing since the 90s. Sure, it wasn't as big as it was in the 90s. There wasn't that much attention or focus or whatever brought to it or spotlight. But then, obviously, in the 2020s, or maybe even the 2010s, there was more attention, focus, and spotlight brought to it. And because of that, it made it more popular and more of a trend. And hell, even famous rappers are rapping about being passport bros. So that's how I know it's completely and totally hopeless for me. And it's over. It's over. There's no hope for me. There is absolutely no hope for me. Not a chance. I mean, if you have even famous men, talking about passport bros, only even bringing more attention to it, then yeah, there is no way in fucking hell I stand a chance or have any opportunity with getting with women from other countries. So it's just over for me. And those are all the reasons why I think passport bros, just that whole concept, that whole idea is such a cope. But that's all I wanted to say in today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.